few days ago, or perhaps it was a week ago or so, I asked a professional watchmaker working in Switzerland, very experienced, very generous, who very generously shares his knowledge and experience with others on a site called watchmaker.com. I asked him how he holds his burnisher when polishing or burnishing wheel pivots. And he, in response, he published a video and several images and also a description about how he works with a burnisher. And I found that information to be extremely valuable and useful. Because I've been struggling with how to hold the burnisher for a very long time, since I got this Jacot tool probably a couple of years ago or so. It's not that I haven't been able to work with it, but you know, so I've sometimes been hesitant to use the Jacot tool because there is this risk that you'll damage or destroy your wheel pivots. So anyway, now that this watchmaker, who goes by the name NickelSilver on the site watchmaker.com, once he described this to me and showed it to the members of the site, it's made a world of difference, and I really feel I must try to share this with as many as possible. So that's why I'm recording this video now. So, I should mention, because this is really important, it has nothing really to do with how you hold the burnisher, but I want to mention it anyway if you're new to this. If you buy a burnisher, I do recommend this burnisher, and it comes in two versions. One for people whose dominant hand is the right hand, and one for people whose dominant hand is the left hand. I'm right-handed, so this is version number 2933G. Alright, so how to hold the burnisher in a safe and efficient way. I think I'll move around the camera and try to show you so we can get a bit, I will be able to show it to you more clearly. So here we go. Okay, so yeah, there's my arm. And so what I do, and we'll see here, I have basically 3 points of contact with the burnisher. The first step is to place the burnisher between your index finger and your thumb right here, like that. And then what you do is you push the burnisher until it's pretty much here, where the actual file part of the burnisher starts, like that. Okay, so that's my first point of contact. Second point of contact will be to place the tip of the index finger right on top of the file, here, like that. And that's my second point of contact with the burnisher. The third point of contact with the burnisher will be on the Jacot tool. So I'll just show it to you like this from several angles so you can see it, like that. So I'll move to the Jacot tool again. Okay, so now for the third point of contact, that will be the tool itself. So I just place it on top here, and there is my third point of contact. And extremely important when you do this, and it's important for all type of watch restoring and working on watches, is to be relaxed. And I feel that's perhaps one of the major advantages with holding the burnisher like this, because it really facilitates being relaxed. And when I say relaxed, I mean all the way from your shoulder, your arm, your finger joints, and of course also your mind. You can never be in a hurry when you work on watches, because then things will definitely go wrong. Okay, so I place it there, and then for some extra support or stability, I place my ring finger on the tool like this, and then you're pretty much ready to go. And what you do then is simply push the entire arm forward and backward. I do this a bit slowly here so you can see, and as I go, you'll see that my ring finger flexes with this movement. And as you can see, it's very comfortable. It's actually very enjoyable. And so instead of becoming stressed and feeling anxiety about possibly destroying your wheel pivot, it becomes very enjoyable. So much so that I've been doing this for several hours actually. And it's an absolute great joy to know that I can safely and efficiently restore pivots on old vintage watches. And those pivots become so great after this that they become like new. I would even dare to think that they become better than they were when they left the factory, perhaps like 50 years ago. And it has a tremendous effect on the running of the movement. So we often talk about how extremely important it is to peg the jewel bearings, to have them absolutely clean to a clinical state, but we don't talk so much about the pivots. The pivots need to be in perfect condition for a perfectly running watch. So the Jacot tool is definitely in that sense my favorite tool, because it really makes it possible to restore an old watch movement to run as well as it did when it was new, perhaps 70, 80 years ago. Alright, so I'll put a wheel on my Jacot tool and I'll just try to show you that too. Alright, so time to go to work. I have a wheel here. Let's see, and it's 0.11 millimeters in diameter, the pivot that I'm going to burnish. And let's get to it. So first step will be to place it in the Jacot tool. So release the screw here so I can push and pull the runner and check that I have the right bed for this. I don't. I need to change that. So there, that was the wrong direction. So here we go. 10. Take the wheel. And place it in here. Okay. Alright, so lock the runner and then move the, what I call the snake teeth into the, in between the spokes here. Looks good. Then we need a bit of oil and the consensus around what type of oil to use would be simply a thin oil. I've heard people recommend lavender oil, that you can use Mobius 9010. Personally, I use a very, very thin honing oil. I think anything works really, if you, as long as it's a really thin oil. And I think you can be pretty generous with your oiling here. It's not like oiling a jewel bearing, which needs to be done with extreme precision. That's also something I'd like to mention, that when you watch many of the videos on YouTube restoring watches, sometimes the people doing those are extremely sloppy with their oiling of the jewel bearings, and it's not that the watch isn't going to run. Could even run well, but it will deteriorate quickly as the oil spreads, or it doesn't do what it's supposed to. So that's a topic you can really look into if you want to make your watch run well for many, many years, the oiling. Okay, so we're ready to start burnishing. So again, just to repeat, place the burnisher here so you get a good support. Then just slide it or push it a bit like that, you can see there. Place the tip of the index finger on top of the burnisher, not on the handle, like that. And something I haven't mentioned, a huge advantage with this way of working with the burnisher, is that you don't have to push your face into the Jacot tool. Now you stay away from the Jacot tool and you go by your normal view and feeling and sound. That's it. Okay, so just place the burnisher on the Jacot tool like that. That's my third point of contact. My ring finger to get a little support here, and then I sort of tilt the burnisher a little just to get it on top of the pivot. I don't think you can see that in the video. Okay, and then now I feel the shoulder of the pivot. And I'm ask myself, am I relaxed? Yeah, I'm pretty relaxed. And I use a Joyo keyring. I don't have a bow, unfortunately. So that's how I do this. And then you start slowly. And when the sound changes, you can be pretty sure that you reached the desired diameter, which in this case was, now it's basically completely silent. Okay. And if I look at the burnisher here, I can see, you can't see it of course, but there is, you can see the oil, and I take a piece of old Rodico and just slide the burnisher like that, and I don't think you can see that now, but here you can see it became black. So I always clean the burnisher once I've done this like that. And all you need to do now is remove the wheel from the Jacot tool and inspect it under your stereo microscope and measure it in your micrometer. And if it looks good, if it measures right, you're done. And it's ready to be placed in the watch movement, as long as it is clean, of course. So, release the runner, pull back the snake teeth. I always move them up here in preparation for the next wheel to burnish. Then just take your tweezers, pinch the wheel and pull back the wheel. Okay, I hope you found this video useful, informative, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and why not subscribe to my channel, and I'll try to keep sharing good stuff that I found out, that I find out in the world of restoring watches. Okay, thanks, bye.